Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Winspace messaged me a couple of weeks ago because they've started a retail store here in Sydney, Alexandria. And so they very generously asked us to come round to their shop, and they've got some wheel sets for us to check out. So what they've asked us to do is they're going to change over some of our wheel sets from what we're using right now. We can just test them with our everyday riding, some of the riding we do around Centennial Park and Sydney Olympic Park, and we'll also take them out for some longer rides like a Fondo or something. So why don't you come in and I'll show you some of the wheel sets.
Welcome guys, welcome to Winspace Cycling Australia. We're the official distributor for Winspace products in Australia. Here we have our top of the range Hyper wheels. The new Hyper 23s come in the D33, the D45 and the D67. These for this, we also offer rim brakes for all the bikes out there. The 33 is a profile of 38. And the D45 has a profile of 46/54 the rear, and then the 67 is 60 the front with 68 at the rear. And the new wheels are wider, so they come internal width of 21, which will have a nice fit for tires 28. The wheels also have a new F-Rapid design, so that will help with the crosswinds in the front and give you more speed. So the tree range that we have here with the 33s is good for climbing, for the climbers. And the 45 is the all-rounder for speed and climbing as well. And the 67 is for the flats to give you all the top speed that you want. We also have the gravel wheels called our Grapit 700s. They come in a profile of 45 and 38. Currently, we have the 38, and the 38 is the more sought after size.
Alright, while I'm unboxing the wheels, let's have a quick chat about Winspace and about some of the specifications of the wheels that they're showing us today. Winspace have really established themselves in the bike industry as a good mid-range bike manufacturer for bike frames and for wheels. They come at a more affordable price point, and I personally know quite a few people who use their wheels. I don't really know many people that use the frames, but everyone who uses the wheels always has good things to say. And the reason for that is that the specifications of their wheels come in at a very comparable level to some of the high-end range stuff, but for much more affordable price point. So let's quickly I'm going to bang up the weights here of the wheels, and just to say, these are all disc brake. The rim brake ones are a bit lighter. If you want to know the reason for that, go watch Hanbini's channel. I'm not a technical person. Okay, let's go. So the D33s, they come at 1330 grams. D45s come in at 1421 grams. And the D67s come in at 1515 grams. Now, I use a Bontrager XXX4 wheel set from Trek. This is one of their top of the line wheel sets. I think if you buy it at retail price, it's about $4,000. So that's pretty steep. And you're looking at a pretty comparable weight to the D45s, which is similar in depth. So I reckon there's a pretty good value proposition from Winspace. Now, the construction of the wheels, for the two shallower ones, the D33 and the D45, they have a very distinct pattern on them, and that's due to how the carbon weave is laid up against each other. I think it's laid up in a bit of a crisscross pattern. The D67s, they call it, I think it's omnidirectional carbon weave. Now the wheels have these nice carbon bladed spokes with a very small nipple, so you can expect good aerodynamic benefit. And they also use an in-house hub, the Lun hub. No complaints here. I reckon they sound pretty good. The Freehub sounds pretty good, and it works as intended. Now they let us pick any wheel sets that we want to use, and I picked the D67. The reason for that is at the time I was doing a lot of fast rides. I was doing Sydney Olympic Park, a lot of Centennial Park, very flat rides, a lot of high speed, around 40-50 kilometers an hour. Chris went with the D33s, and the reason for that is it's very similar to the rim depth that he uses currently. So he wanted something, he wanted to have a baseline to measure against.
All right, so when you open the box, there's this bar bag inside, and the bar bag has spare spokes. It's got an instruction manual, and it's also got some tyre levers in there. So you're all set up to use these new wheels.
So I've been riding the Winspace wheel sets now for about a month. Halfway through the month, Chris and I did swap over. So I did about 160 kilometers on the D67s, and I've done about 350 kilometers on the D33s. Over the course of this month, I have done, TT segments at Centennial Park. I've done fast rides at Sydney Olympic Park. I did the Bobbin Classic, and I've done another Fondo out to West Head. So I think I've had a pretty good go at these wheels, and I just want to go through a little bit of data that I picked up. Nothing scientific, no wind tunnel stuff, just stuff based purely off my power meter and what I've done on Strava. And I just want to talk a bit about my thoughts about the wheel sets. Alright, before I get into the numbers, I want to preface this by saying this is probably the most unscientific test done of all time. We're talking, these were done on separate days, separate weather conditions, different wind, many different things. So I think it's more to give you a ballpark figure of what to expect about the wheels. So what I did was I went to Centennial Park and I did a timed 2-lap effort. So that's about 7 kilometers, takes roughly about 12 minutes. And I tried to keep a steady power of 230 watts. So here's the data for the D67s. So with an average power of 229 watts, my maximum speed was 48.1 kilometers an hour, my average speed was 40.2 kilometers an hour, and I did the 2-lap segment in 11 minutes and 12 seconds. Now I was quite surprised about how much slower the D33 wheels were on flat ground. So the summary for my 2-lap effort was 226 watts, maximum speed of 44.8 kilometers an hour, and average speed of 36.8 kilometers an hour, for a total time of a bit over 12 minutes. So on average, about 3 to 4 kilometers an hour slower, which results in about a 40-second slower time over the course of 10 minutes, which is pretty substantial. Now the feel of the wheels, the D33s, you can really feel the acceleration is a lot faster, the handling is a bit more nimble. So if you're the kind of rider who does a lot of little punchy, short, sharp climbs, they could be the ones for you. Whereas the D67s definitely below, I'd say around below 35 kilometers an hour, they do feel a bit more sluggish. Once they do get up to speed, around 35 plus 40k an hour, they really feel in their element. They've got a momentum to them. I think if you've ridden deep wheels before, you'll know the feeling I'm talking about, but the wheels almost feel like they turn themselves. So my personal opinion about the wheels, and do I have any recommendations for them about them? Look, if you are in the market for a mid-range priced set of wheels, I think you can't do much better than this. Weight-wise, aerodynamics-wise, they are on par with some of the more expensive brands. So I think there's other things outside of the performance of the wheels that people would value. So some of those things are aesthetics. Maybe you prefer the look of other brand wheels. Maybe you like what the Hyperspace carbon weave looks like. And another thing to consider is warranties. So now that Winspace have a store here in Australia, if you ever have any issues with the wheels or they need to be fixed, you can actually just send it to their store in Alexandria and they can sort you out right then and there. So these are just other things to consider that are outside of, just the everyday performance of them. Anyway, huge shout out to Winspace. Thank you very much for loaning me these wheels and letting me have a go of them. It was actually quite exciting. I look like a kid on Christmas Day opening up those boxes because it's not every day that I get to open up some new wheel sets. So I had a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to leave the video here. Stay around for a little bit longer. I put together a little bloopers section of all the silly things we got up to, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and bye.
So why don't you come in and I'll show you some of the wheel sets. pull these out first. It's all right. We'll fix it up in post.
If people who are not savvy with replacing their own tubes on the tubeless system, just stay with clean tube. So, but seriously, ask yourself how often you get puncture.
Wait, wrong person to ask.
He's the
He's the
puncture
cursed
king.
one. Yeah, he's the cursed. So Chris's original wheel set, which is somewhere. This is it. Yeah. We're very professional here. All right.
My right arm workout's done for the day.
Yeah.
That's what I was done this morning.
You got to cut that out. Uncut version.